Hey there, this is Coach Prentice Rhodes, and what we want to do today is a basic shoulder health workout. Now, these exercises can be done as a movement prep to your daily training or as a standalone workout, something that you can do by itself. The first thing we're going to start out with is a lat foam roll. You notice in the video, I'm laying down on the side with the foam roller on the outside edge of my shoulder blade. And I'm going to probe up and down, find a tender point, and hold this for 30 to 60 seconds. I can also move the arm in a sweeping motion, as you can see in the video there, or I can also do sort of an arm wrestling motion, pivoting on the elbow. I am in this position so as not to strain my neck, placing my hand between my shoulder and my neck for a little extra support. Moving on, we're going to do some foam rolling for the T-spine. Interlock your fingers, place them behind your head for neck support with the elbows pointing out to the side. And just like the lat foam roll, you're going to probe and find some tender points. Sometimes they may be in the muscles right in between the shoulder blades. Go ahead and hold that for 30 to 60 seconds. An alternative is to also cross your arms as if you're giving a hug to expose a little more musculature. Moving on to some dynamic mobility, we're going to do the rib pull. And this is something that a mentor, Gray Cook, likes to use. What I'm doing there is laying down on the side using a foam roller to bolster my leg. My hip and knee are at 90 degrees, and I'm going to take that top hand and grab onto the rib cage. As I'm doing that, you notice in the video how my top shoulder is rotating back into the floor. I want to do that, get into a comfortable position. I don't want to overdo it. And you can repeat this movement for the desired number of repetitions. To foam roll those pec muscles, I'm going to take the roller, lay down, face down, and place that roller in between the junction of the shoulder muscle and the pec. You're going to probe this time in a side-to-side motion until you find a tender point, and go ahead and hold that for 30 to 60 seconds for as many sets as necessary. You can also do sweeping motions, as I'm doing right there in the video. The next stretch is the dynamic lat stretch, and I'm going to get into a child pose position on the knees, sitting back on the heels with a little bend in the spine, placing the hand on the foam roller. I'm going to push my arm out so that my arm is pretty much in line with the ear until I feel a stretch in the lat, which is kind of around the armpit. And you're going to repeat that for 10 to 12 repetitions, and what you're going to do is hold the stretch for 3 to 4 seconds. You're going to accumulate 30 to 40 seconds of stretching if you do it in this manner. To do the pec floor stretch, you're going to lay face down and find a comfortable position for the arm. You can, similar to the wall stretch, you can have that arm and elbow at 90 degrees. Now, what you're going to do to elicit the stretch is to take the leg on the opposite side of the stretching arm and rotate it back. As you can see there in the video, hold this stretch for 30 to 60 seconds on each side. Kettlebell armbar is a good drill to work on both your chest flexibility, your lat flexibility, and the shoulder flexibility. Take a light kettlebell and roll to the side lying position as shown in the video there. And to get the stretch, you're going to rotate your pelvis gently down into the floor. You're going to repeat this for 3 to 5 reps, and as you start to open up, you're going to allow that bottom arm to get behind the head, to get a little more stretch in the lat, to help you work a little bit more on shoulder flexion. The kettlebell bent armbar is a variation of the previous exercise. Going to get into the side lying position like the armbar and lower the bell by bending the elbow. You're going to bend the elbow, lower that elbow to the hip. Notice in the video how the palm of my hand is pointing in the direction of the head, and although you can't see it here, the forearm is vertical, giving a stretch in the chest and also a little conditioning for the stability of the rotator cuff muscles. Repeat this for a few sets of 3 to 5 on each side. To perform the Indian club draw, you're going to stand with your feet together with your abs drawn in and a little tension in the glutes. You're going to lift the bells up, start with the shoulders rotated in, and lift the bells up as if you're pulling 2 swords out of sheaths on the side of your body. As you lift, make sure that the core remains tight so that you're not doing any accessory movement in your spine. To perform the Indian club parry, you're going to start very similar to the way you did with the Indian club draw. As you lift the clubs above the head, what you're going to do is lead with the pinky and reverse the movement and chop back down to the sides, leading again with the pinky side of your hand. This next movement is a popular Indian club pattern. What you're going to do is start with your fists together, and you're going to flex the shoulder, rotate the shoulder, and imagine that you're taking two swords out of a back sheath. Going to extend those arms out to the sides and complete a rotation all the way back to the starting position. To perform this easy variation of the SCAP push-up, start on all fours with the pits of the elbows pointing straight ahead, and you're going to go ahead and push up until your shoulders are almost rounded, so the shoulder blades are at the sides of the body. We're going to superset that push-up with a pelvic tilt. To do this, we're going to start on the back with the knees bent, with the arms flexed above the head. And what you're going to do is tilt the spine back, drawing in the abs, and gradually allow your legs to straighten out. And as you tilt back, you're going to also add a little tightening of the glutes as you perform this movement. Moving on, in our superset, we're going to perform a harder version of the SCAP push-up. This time we're going to start in a standard push-up position. The pits of the elbows are still pointing forward, your abs are still drawn in, core and glutes are tight, and you're going to push through those hands again until the shoulder blades flare out to the sides of the body. And we're going to do one more set of those pelvic tilts. Now, as you practice this drill, you can do 3 to 5 supersets. Up until this point, we've done a lot of shoulder-specific drills. Now we're going to integrate our shoulder work into a little movement. We're going to do a single leg hip hinge, or you may have heard this also referred to as a single leg deadlift. We're going to hinge back, standing on one leg, making sure the spine is straight. Once you're in the hinge position, you're going to go ahead and pull your kettlebell or whatever weight you're using into your waist. And repeat this for 3 to 5 repetitions on each side. Make sure that you're not surviving the drill. Don't fall over or anything like that. Try to maintain your balance, maintain a straight spine all the way through. If you feel like you're going to fall, go ahead and reset. And we're going to finish our shoulder setup with a total body full Getup. What you're going to do is roll the bell to a press position, pivot to a half Getup, and post, sweep up to a half kneeling position, and stand up. As you reverse the movement, try to do this smoothly without any jerking motions, and make sure that as you're performing the drill that your shoulders stay packed and those abs stay drawn in for your safety.